Hey, everybody, welcome back to the GEMS podcast. Joined today by Scott Martus. He's here to tell us a little bit about himself and about the class he's teaching at FDIC. Scott?
Hey, hello, everybody. My name is Scott Martus. I come from the grand old state of Connecticut, the pizza capital of the world, self-declared, of course. And a little bit about myself. I currently work as the manager for emergency medical services for Yale New Haven Hospital, overseeing an education center and all of the regulatory and safety initiatives for our ambulance company, as well as the 911 system responders in the area that get their sponsorship and medical direction through us. Prior to my soiree into corporate healthcare, I was a firefighter paramedic. I spent about 20 years in a fire department, did about 5,000 calls a year. I retired as the deputy fire chief of operations. It was an ALS fire rescue department. And actually left that job because I pursued this opportunity. As many people who work in the EMS and fire industry, I spent some time at commercial EMS. I did some fly car EMS. I was a volunteer firefighter. So I have some experience in different areas and different sectors of the service, which I'm thankful for every single day because all I ever wanted to do was ride on something that had lights and sirens on it. But one of the things that kind of really got me interested in this was I was working with a fire chief who is very large in the IAFC, International Association of Fire Chiefs Volunteer Combination Officers section, Pete Struble. And he had asked me to assist him on a project, and we called it the Leadership Collaboration Project. And what it really did was it went in, and as exciting and important as emergency response is, it went into departments that requested us, and we did a behavioral and personality analysis on different members of the team. A lot of the dysfunction that we see inside fire departments comes from miscommunication. It comes from classing behavioral styles, different value systems. And as good as the IAF or as good as the NFPA is in their 1021 standard on fire officer training and leadership, it certainly scratches the surface of motivation, but I don't think it goes very, very deep into what actually motivates and drives a person. Why does that person have that type of motivation? So it really triggered my interest, and I started doing some local training and local consulting work with different EMS agencies around here. And I was just amazed, myself included, at how much we didn't know about the human brain. And here we are in a leadership perspective that we're supposed to take all of these different personalities and lock them into a building for 24 straight hours. And then we wonder why we have arguments and who's not cleaning the bathroom right and why this bag isn't checked appropriately. And if you can't grapple with that, if you can't wrap your head around what is actually driving the members of your team to perform these actions or exhibit these behaviors, then it becomes very, very difficult for you to reconcile that. And it compounds. And on top of it, if you have one issue on top of another issue, and before you know it, you're looking at a dysfunctional crew, maybe an entire dysfunctional shift. And in some cases, I've flown out to different areas and found an entire dysfunctional department because you've got chief officers that won't talk to other chief officers and training officers that won't talk to shift commanders and EMS officers that won't talk to fire suppression, and it becomes a nightmare. So the intent of this article that should be hopefully published or is on its way, and then this presentation is just to give everybody that is at FDIC that wants to attend a real good overview into what are the different value systems and value styles that exist, such as loyalty and justice and personal growth. What are some of the team styles that exist? Where do you fit in a team? Are you an executor, an analyst? What is your personality? Are you self-driven, self-taught? We're going to go through Myers-Briggs and the different personality styles that'll help you either recognize yourself, which is probably the most important thing if you're going to be a leader, understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. And then the second thing is going to be to maybe recognize some of these behaviors in your team and start to actually develop plans throughout your daily work that plays to their strengths and communicates to their strengths. We'll cover DISC, which is an easy one, the 4 behavioral styles of DISC. and really hopefully open it up to some Q&A. I plan to have a couple critical thinking case analyses in there where we ask some questions and try to get the audience to kind of say, oh yeah, I remember that person. Bluntly, and this is actually in the verbiage of the article, I always said, have you ever stared at somebody that you worked with? And, I'm a little older now, but, they're a good father and they're a good husband and they're a swell person and they're very charming and you can go out and have a beer with them. But when you walk into the firehouse or the EMS house, you just want to strangle the person because, and you wonder why. They're good at their job, they're good at everything they do, but for some reason, you and that person just don't get along. A lot of times that could be found in this. And it's just the way you guys are communicating, the way you are understanding what is said to you and interpreting things. And so the hope is to just give you an understanding that there's more going on. We're not all the same. And both as team members and then ultimately as team leaders, we have to reconcile that. And we have to, as the leader, make the make the outreach and make sure that we're the ones that actually work hard to reconcile that. So that's essentially it in a nutshell, and it's a kind of a passion project of mine. So I'm super appreciative of FDIC and GEMS for allowing me to come on the stage, and I think we're going to have some fun, some laughs, and hopefully learn a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and when I was reading your proposal for the talk, I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely something that I want to make sure I check out. I think it's something that we underestimate how important that connection really is, and we've got to be able to get along. As you said, we're locked in that space for 24 hours. And if there's dysfunction there, that dysfunction spills to the scene, whether you like it or not. So it's going to affect our day-to-day operations. And, I'm just excited to learn some of the tips, tricks, and techniques that you have to share with us in Indianapolis in April.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think we mask a lot of even shift dysfunction on the scene because we have adrenaline and we have training, right? And so we can always go back as our sympathetic nervous system starts to take over. We can all fall back onto the memories we have of what we're supposed to function as. But we also see on the emergency scene people crossing the lines on roles. And we don't have definitive spelled out jobs because, oh, wait, I can do that better, or I'm going to get involved in this. And you hit the nail on the head. That is a spillover from the arguments or miscommunication we may be having in the station before we even get dispatched to the call. And so I appreciate you bringing up that point, and that point will actually be in the message in the conference as well.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Love Indianapolis. Been there. I think this is my 8th trip out there. It's my first time speaking, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. We'll see you in Indy in April.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
All right. Thanks a lot, Scott.
All right, Mike. Thank you.